Frying Motors, authorized dealer of Tata Motors PV, is now open at Lightcorny, Shillong. We are here to offer you India's most safest cars and to ensure you to get the most out of owning a Tata vehicle.
Ka Mount Olive Culinary and Hospitality Management Shillong ka khot admission haki professional courses prepare. Ya ka jingtip ka ba khamnya lecture ka city office 100-fold academy ha malki.
Umentri rang ba ka jylla Baderu chairman ka Meghalaya Democratic Alliance na MDA Konrad ke sangma ulong ba ulashim kya ba ha ka bede ka jingleh ka jong Emily ka BJP Baderu umentri ha ka sarkar sanrop Bah Sanbor sulai ha ka ba ulai thu ba ulakular ru banle AA ha ka bede par ka jingja ha ka hendru trek mutau bunai ulong ba ka jingleh ka jong Bah Sanbor sulai ta ka ba wodong kat ba dang kret ulam phang ka yeng dor bar thau an ba met ba ling do ha ka jingelang ba wan ka kertong president ke NDA ka long ka bam dei pat ka bam ïahap satia u Konrad ulong shushu ba ka jingkren u ba met ba ikimat jong ka jylla ha khmat ka kertong president Henry ha ka te ka por u Bah Sanbor ula wodong ka ba pani ya ka jing bam itnat bat ka bam dei khamtam ha khmat ki pri ka wan na bar ulong ba kumunong ilam ke MDA unsale AA persha u Bah Sanbor kumbala dawar ke UDP Henry ulakan tait ban yathu ya ki kam ba ke MDA kan shim halo kani ka jingkno persha ya UMLE ke BJP habakali shushu ulong ba kam don kanu ke jinge per ha ke MDA tang namar ba uwei udkhot upen paw ya jing sngokya ka ba uwei pat udkhot uyeng ban persha ulong ba ke jinge peninya kan don bait ha ka kan hun sunrop Henry ke ka belaja ha ka Henry trek kam long ka badai pat kam ïahap namar kapor per ka jakaru kam dei.
I had met the Honourable Speaker this afternoon, and when this incident happened, I was present. The Honourable Speaker had raised certain concerns which were related to issues concerning many sections of society, and very genuine issues were being raised. And it's appropriate in front of a presidential candidate to raise these issues because she would be at a position in the near future to be able to keep those issues in mind and take appropriate action. So it was very appropriate for the Honourable Speaker to raise those concerns. But while those concerns were being raised, there was a reaction from one of the MLAs, Mr. Sanbor from the BJP. And in an occasion or in a meeting like that, where they are garnering support for their candidature and being a BJP candidature or BJP nominated candidature, it would have been appropriate for, or I would say it was not appropriate for the reaction that we saw that day by the Honourable Minister and the Honourable MLA. So it was a very inappropriate behaviour. I have to add to that. That it was not correct, especially in front of the presidential candidate. It did not look nice to do that. So UDP was obviously in its, in support of the president. They had that meeting yesterday. As I said, I had met the Honourable Speaker, and he had also communicated me about the meeting that they had. And so I've told him that definitely I've taken note of this, and as and when we'll move forward, and we will take appropriate action. As and when is necessary. So I give him the assurance that I will definitely look into the matter. No, as I said, you have to please remember that this is a BJP meeting. The BJP sponsored candidate had come to Shillong, and therefore the BJP president had called individually people. So I'm not doing, I was called there as the party president of the NPP, not as the chief minister of the state. And I happen to be chief minister, but I was called as the NPP president. Accordingly, he had made a phone call, to UDP President, Mr. Metpalindo, and I'm told that he has also made a call to even Trinamool people. So that's all I know. But as I said, I'm not in his office, or I'm not monitoring what who's calling. So that I don't know. But as I said, it was a BJP sponsored candidate, and they have called the people, invited the people. It is not an MDA inviting the different parties. It's the BJP inviting for support to the coalition partners. You see, it is not an MDA support. It's a support by every individual party. Every individual party has MLAs, and therefore they were asked and they were called by the BJP separately. I was called there as the NPP president and as the MLA of the NPP. Similarly, the UDP MLAs were called by the president of the BJP, Mr. Mauri, as the UDP. So therefore, each individual party was called, and so therefore the question of we raising the issue as a MDA was not there, because right now this is an election, and each party has the right to raise their concerns. And as I said, there are no problems and issues in raising concerns, because this is the highest office in the country, and it is appropriate for us as voters for that particular election to raise our concerns, and that's what the Honourable Speaker, as the UDP President, had done. And I think of course, the actions were very inappropriate. No, in fact, I have raised this issue and concern. I cannot discuss right now on what way it is done, but UDP has done it, and I have also already shared with the Honourable Speaker what concerns were there. So that's it. And I think beyond that, I will not be able to share the details. One individual has raised a concern, or one individual has stood up when the speaker spoke. It happens, but as I said, the moment and the timing and the presence of the people who were there was inappropriate to have raised it. Otherwise, there have been many incidents where we can raise concerns and we argue, we debate, we don't agree on decisions together. That's how coalition works. And since we are in different parties, it's a natural process for a coalition to discuss and to debate and to argue on many things. But we've always come to a conclusion that whatever the debates take place, we will always be together, and that's how it's been. As I said, I'll take a decision at the appropriate time. There are many situations where, as I said, cabinet ministers have differences in my decision or differences with me, and we have discussions of it. And whatever is discussed and private with me, be it any individual, be it an MLA or a party leader or any citizen of the state, that is between the individual and me. So I don't think it's appropriate for me to share about that. Unless, as I said, if it's done in public like it was done that day, then it's not appropriate, and that too in front of the presidential candidate. But whatever happens with me at my level and individually in a closed door room, I have many discussions with many MLAs and leaders and citizens also, and in many situations, different situations can come up, but then we always figure out a way to resolve it. Meeting of the MDA will be convened to finalize on the voting, which will take place on the 18th. But apart from that, this particular issue, as I said, I will take appropriate decision at the right time.